Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
అని టైం ఈ కాల్ రన్ చేసుకోవాలి. కొంచెంసేపు ఇలా డివోటీస్ తోని మాట్లాడుకుందాం. ముందు టైం ఇంకా అరగంట.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lakshman Prabhuji, Raju Prabhu, Navalita Mataji, and Dr. Thank you very much for that today. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanaşilakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Mukam Kriti Vachanam Pamulam Jayadegi Yatkrupadamaham Vantam Shri Gurum Jayatani Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishranam Om Pavitra Pavitro Vasnavasnatopim Yasmaret Pundari Kaksham Sabhahyabhyantaram Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. First let us read some daily BG calendar Bhagavad verses. Let me share it. Please read, anybody? Highlighted one.
Text 40. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of the lust. Though through them lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him. Text 41. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of the Bharata, in the very beginning curve this great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating the senses and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization.
Thank you, Madhuri. This is 3.40, 3.41 from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is speaking. Indriyani manobuddhe asyadishtantam uchyate etairimmohatyesha jnanam avritya dehinam tasmatvam indriyan adau niyamya bharatarshava papmanam prajahi henam jnana vijnana nashanam. Jnana vijnana nashanam. Krishna is saying jnana vijnana nashanam. Desire of knowledge and self-realization. Who is the desire? Quickly. This destroyer of knowledge. What is this? ఇక్కడనే చూడు చెప్పండి ఉన్న ఆన్సర్ అక్కడే. ఇంద్రియాణి మనోబుద్ధిర్ అస్యాధిష్టాంతం ఉచ్యతే ఏతైర్విమోహ్యత్యేష జ్ఞానం ఆవృత్య దేహినం. Yes, Babuji.
Yeah, last only, no?
Yeah, last only. Yeah, why doubt? I mean, why doubt? Just now we are reading. Yeah, yes, lust only. So lust is sitting in three places: senses, working senses, knowledge acquiring senses, and working senses, knowledge acquiring senses, karmendriya, jnanendriya, buddhi, buddhi and manasu. The mind and intelligence are sitting places of this lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him. Therefore, Krishna is giving solution. Therefore, Arjuna, best of the Bharata, in the very beginning, niyamya bharatarshava, indriyami adau, tasmatvam indriyami adau, niyamya bharatarshava, papmanam prajahi henam. Beginning curb, the very beginning, curb this great symbol of sin. Lust by regulating senses, regulating the senses. By regulating the senses, we will be able to slay this desire of knowledge. This, what is this? Lust. Regulating senses. Engage, basically regulating senses, like Prabhupada says in sometimes, proper engagement in these senses. And very frequently quotes Srila Prabhupada that verse. Ambarish Maharaj there. What is that? Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindaya. We have learned as part of our sloka recitation. Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindaya. Possible, actually possible. Possible if we do that. Krishna's mercy is there. Guru Parampara mercy is there. A great enemy, greatest enemy, lust. Thank you very much, devotees. We'll start from Bhagavatam. Okay. So Raju Prabhu is not available, so I'm doing. So let me share this contents of the Subodhini. So we are here in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, entitled as Vidura's talks with Maitra. So till now, I think 44 verses. Which verse we are at? 41st verse, supposed to read. So in this section, various sections there. 1 to 9 talks with Vidura's questions to Maitreya Rishi. 10 to 16, Vidura's exclusive interest in Krishna Katha. 17 to 21, Maitreya Rishi honored Vidura and expressed gratitude. 22 to 38, Maitreya Rishi described the process of creation. And here in this section, we are reading now 39 to 51, elemental demigods offered prayers to the Lord. 39 to 43 talks about glorious shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. Charanaravindam. There is one Telugu song, Charanamule Nammiti, Ni Divya Charanamule Nammiti. Then one movie song. Ramadas, I think. Charanamule Nammiti. Here also. To who? The elemental demigods offered praise to Supreme Lord. 44 to 47, qualified and unqualified candidates for the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. 48 to 51, prayers for enlightenment and directions. Now let us jump into reading. Yes.
Prabhu, this 41 and 46 are very important slokas. So we'll recite this, Prabhu.
Recite. Yes, we'll recite.
Margantiyate Mukapadmanidai. Please repeat if you can.
Margantiyate
Mukapatmanidai.
Chandasuparnairrishayo vivikte.
Chandasuparnairrishayo vivakte.
Yasyagamarushodasharidvaraya.
Yasyagamarushodasharidvaraya.
Padam padam tirtha pada prapanna.
Padam
prapanna.
See, Marganti means searching. Okay. Who are searching? Chanda Viparnair.
Yes. Chanda Suparna.
Chanda Suparnair Rishayo Vivikte. Means those rishis. Vivikte means whose mind is very clear. Whose mind is very clear by what? Chanda Suparnair. Chanda means Vedas. By the knowledge of Vedas, whose mind is very clear. Who are they searching for? Margantiyatte. What are they searching? Mukapadma Nidai. Mukapadma means for your lotus face. Okay, they are searching for your lotus face. And some of them, where are they? Yasyargha Marsha Udaha means some of them, what they are taking shelter? Marsha, Argha Marsha Udaha means who removes all the sins. Who is that? Sarit Varayaha, the best of the rivers. Now, what is the best of the rivers? Ganga. So, some of them, they take the shelter of Ganga, Padam Padam, at every step. Okay. For what? To reach your lotus feet. Okay. So what does this shloka says? People who are the sages, who are very clear in their mind and have the wings of the Vedas, they search for your lotus face. But some of them, by taking shelter of river Ganga at every step, they will reach your lotus feet. So this is the glories of the Lord's lotus feet and Lord's lotus face. So that is what this shloka is quoted many a times. Thank you so much, Prabhu. You can go ahead.
Read. Translation, I will have to. Sandhya Mata, please start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: the lotus feet of the Lord are by themselves the shelter of all places of pilgrimage. The great clear-minded sages, carried by the wings of the Vedas, always searched after the nest of your lotus-like face. Some of them surrender to your lotus feet at every step by taking shelter of the best of rivers, the Ganges, which can deliver one from all sinful reactions. Purport: the Paramahamsas are compared to royal swans who make their nests on the petals of the lotus flower. The Lord's transcendental bodily parts are always compared to the lotus flower because in the material world, the lotus flower is the last word in beauty. The most beautiful thing in the world is the Vedas or Bhagavad Gita because their knowledge is imparted by the personality of Godhead himself. The Paramhamsa makes his nest in the lotus-like face of the Lord and always seeks shelter at his lotus feet, which are reached by the wings of Vedic wisdom. Since the Lord is the original source of all emanations, intelligent persons enlightened by Vedic knowledge seek the shelter of the Lord, just as birds who leave the nest again search out of the nest to take complete rest. All Vedic knowledge is meant for understanding the Supreme Lord, as stated by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita 15.15. Vedamscha sarvair ahameva vedyai. Intelligent persons who are like swans take shelter of the Lord by all means and do not hover on the mental plane by fruitlessly speculating on different philosophies.
Finish, Madhya. Finish.
Yes, Prabhuji. The Lord is so kind that He has spread the river Ganges throughout the universe, so that by taking bath in the holy river, everyone get released from the reactions of sins which occur at every step. There are many rivers in the world which are able to evoke one's sense of God consciousness simply by once bathing in them, and the river Ganges is chief amongst them. In India, there are 5 sacred rivers, but the Ganges is the most sacred. The river Ganges and Bhagavad Gita are chief sources of transcendental happiness of mankind for mankind, and intelligent persons can take shelter of them to go back home, back to Godhead. Even Sripada Shankaracharya recommends that a little knowledge in Bhagavad Gita and the drinking of a little quantity of Ganges water can save one from the punishment of Yamaraja.
Thank you, Madhya.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Gita Amrutam, very important words actually. Yes, let me quickly show. Gita Amrutam. The beginning itself is there. In the beginning, it's there. Yes. Quickly, just Ganga ante ఒకటి వచ్చింది. I'll show just a second. We'll find out that same time. Okay, I will share that. I will find out that Google Drive. One slide I have prepared and will share. That is written by Shankaracharya, Gita Amrutam. What is that verse? Yeah, I'll find out and share devotees. Okay, we'll continue. Text 42. Samyukta Mataji, go ahead. This also we want to recite, Prabhu.
No, Prabhu, the next one is 46.
Acha. Okay, I'll put this one. Continue, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Translation. Prabhu.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Simply by hearing about your lotus feet with eagerness and devotion, and by meditating upon them within the heart, one at once become enlightened with knowledge, and on the strength of detachment, one becomes pacified. We must therefore take shelter of the sanctuary of your lotus feet. Purport. The miracles of meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord with eagerness and devotion are so great that no other process can compare to it. The minds of materialistic persons are so disturbed that it is almost impossible for them to search after the supreme truth by personal regulative endeavors. But even such materialistic men, with a little eagerness for hearing about the transcendental name, fame, qualities, etc., can surpass all other methods of attaining knowledge and detachment. The conditioned soul is attached to the bodily conception of the self, and therefore he is in ignorance. Culture of self-knowledge can bring about detachment from material affection, and without such detachment, there is no meaning to knowledge. The most stubborn attachment for material enjoyment is sex life. One who is attached to sex life
Continue.
Okay, Prabhu. One who is attached to sex life is to be understood as devoid of knowledge. Knowledge must be followed by detachment. That is the way of self-realization. These two essential for self-realization, knowledge and detachment, become manifest very quickly if one performs devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord. The word dhira is very significant in this connection. A person who is not disturbed even in the presence of the cause of disturbance is called dhira. Sri Yamunacharya says, since my heart has been overwhelmed by the devotional service of Lord Krishna, I cannot even think of sex life, and if thoughts of sex come upon me, I at once feel disgust. A devotee of the Lord becomes an elevated dhira by the simple process of meditating in eagerness on the lotus feet of the Lord. Devotional service entails being initiated by a bona fide spiritual master and following his instruction in regard to hearing about the Lord. Such a bona fide spiritual master is accepted by regularly hearing from him about the Lord. The improvement in knowledge and detachment can be perceived by devotees as an actual experience. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu strongly recommended this process of hearing from a bona fide devotee. And by following this process, one can achieve the highest result, conquering all other methods. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mother. Same, the devotional service is the addressing. Just now we read from Bhagavad Gita. What is that? The sensual gratification, especially the desire of relationship with man, woman. Too much. Yes. Text 43. Madhavi Mother, Hare Krishna, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dandatina.
And please read.
Translation. O Lord, you assume incarnations for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation, and therefore we all take shelter of your lotus feet because they always award remembrance and courage to your devotees. Purport. For the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation, there are three incarnations: Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, Lord Shiva. They are the controllers and masters of the three modes of material nature, which cause the phenomenal manifestation. Vishnu is the master of the mode of goodness. Brahma is the master of mode of passion. And Maheshwara is the master of mode of ignorance. There are different kinds of devotees according to the modes of nature. Persons in the mode of goodness worship Lord Vishnu. Those in the mode of passion worship Lord Brahma. And those in the mode of ignorance worship Lord Shiva. All three of these deities are incarnations of the Supreme Lord Krishna because he is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demigods directly refer to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord and not to the different incarnations. The incarnation of Vishnu in the material world is, however, directly worshipped by the demigods. It is learned from various scriptures that the demigods approach Lord Vishnu in the version of milk and submit their grievances whenever there is some difficulty in the administration of universal affairs. Although they are incarnations of the Lord, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva worship Lord Vishnu, and thus they are also counted among as the demigods and not as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Persons who worship Lord Vishnu are called demigods, and persons who do not do so are called asuras or demons. Vishnu always takes the part of the demigods, but Brahma and Shiva sometimes take the side of the demons. It is not that they become one in interest with them, but sometimes they do something in order to gain control over the demons. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mother. Thank you. Text 44. Prabhuji, Chandravan Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Please read.
Yatsanubandhe sati deha dehe.
Okay. No slow.
Okay. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord, persons who are entangled by undesirable eagerness for the temporary body and kinsmen, and who are bound by thoughts of mind and I, are unable to see your lotus feet, although your lotus feet are situated within their own bodies. But let us take shelter of your lotus feet. Perfect. The whole Vedic philosophy of life is that one should get rid of material encasement of gross and subtle bodies, which only cause one to continue in a condemned life of miseries. This material body continues as long as one is not detached from the false conception of lauding it over material nature. The impetus for lauding it over material nature is the sense of mine and I. I am the Lord of all that I survey. So many things I possess, and I shall possess more and more. Who can be richer than I and wealth and dedication? I am the master, and I am God. Who else is there but me? All these ideas reflected the philosophy of aham mama, the conception that I am everything. Persons connected by such a conception of life can never get liberation from material bondage. But even a person perpetually condemned to the miseries of material existence can get relief from the bondage if he simply agrees to hear only Krishna Katha. In this age of Kali, the process of hearing Krishna Katha is the most effective means to gain release from unwanted family affection and thus find permanent freedom in life. The age of Kali is full of sinful reactions, and people are more and more addicted to the qualities of this age. But simply by hearing and chanting of Krishna Katha, one is sure to go back to Godhead. Therefore, people should be trained to hear only Krishna Katha by all means in order to get relief from all miseries. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Very, very important instruction. Therefore, people
Yes.
should be trained to hear only Krishna Katha by all means in order to get relief from all miseries. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatanta sadruda vrata tesham satadiktanam vritam pridipavapam. Krishna Katha. Machitta madgata prana bodhayanta paraspara. All the verses Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. To control of this, material nature is so strong. What do you want to say, Prabhu?
Suppose if people are not interested to listen to Krishna Katha, then again they have to live in this material world, right? Birth and death, like that, right?
Yeah. No chance.
So even if one of the family member is listening Krishna Katha and other member is not listening Krishna Katha, then what is the best approach to bring them into listen to Krishna Katha?
We'll talk to after 8:45. We'll discuss. Okay. Let us continue some more weeks. Yeah, good question. Okay. This one, 45. Akincha Prabhu, please read. Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O great Supreme Lord, offensive persons whose internal vision has been too affected by the external materialistic activities cannot see your lotus feet, but they are seen by your pure devotees. Your one and only aim is to transcendentally enjoy your activities. Purport, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 18.61, the Lord is situated in everyone's heart. It's natural that one should be able to see the Lord at least within himself. But that is not possible for those whose internal vision has been covered by the external activities. The pure soul, which is symptomized by consciousness, can be easily perceived even by the common man, because consciousness is spread all over the body. The yoga system, as recommended in Bhagavad Gita, is to concentrate the mental activities internally and thus see the lotus feet of the Lord within oneself. But there are many so-called yogis who have no concern with the Lord but are only concerned with the consciousness, which they accept as the final realization. Such realization of consciousness is taught by the Bhagavad Gita within only a few minutes, whereas the so-called yogis take continuous years to realize it because of their own offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord. The greatest offense is to delay the existence of the Lord as a separate from the individual soul, or to accept the Lord and the individual soul as one and the same. The impersonalist misinterpret the theory of reflection and thus They wrongly accept the individual consciousness as the supreme consciousness.
One second. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. We'll give it to Vani Mataji. You can finish this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Another Pranam Mataji. Please complete.
Prabhuji, I will not be able to read Prabhuji. I will take the last turn maybe today.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, let me see. Okay. Prabhuji, Mana. Lalit Bando, please read.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. The theory of reflection of the Supreme can be clearly understood without difficulty by any sincere common man. When there is a reflection of the sky on the water, both the sky and the stars are seen within the water, but it is understood that the sky and the stars are not to be accepted on the same level. The stars are parts of the sky, and therefore they cannot be equal to the whole. The sky is the whole, and the stars are the parts. They cannot be one and the same. Transcendentalists who do not accept the supreme consciousness as separate from the individual consciousness are as offensive as the materialists who deny even the existence of the Lord.
Continue.
Such offenders cannot actually see the lotus feet of the Lord within themselves, nor are they even able to see devotees of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord are so kind that they roam all places to enlighten people in God consciousness. The offenders, however, lose the chance to receive the Lord's devotees. Although the offenseless common man is at race, he is at once influenced by the devotee's presence. In this connection, there is an interesting story of a hunter and Devarshi Narada. ఏంటండి Although a great sinner was not an influencer, a hunter in the forest, although a great sinner, was not an intentional offender. He was at once influenced by presence of Narada, and he agreed to take the path of devotion, leaving aside his hearth and home. But the offenders, Nalakuvara and Manigriva, even though living amongst the demigods, had to undergo the punishment of becoming trees in their next lives. Although by the grace of the devotees they were later delivered by the Lord. Offenders have to wait until they receive the mercy of the devotees, and then they can become eligible to see the lotus feet of the Lord within themselves. But due to their offenses and their extreme materialism, they cannot see even the devotees of the Lord. Engaged in external activities, they kill the internal vision. The Lord's devotees, however, do not mind the offenses of the foolish in their many gross and subtle bodily endeavors. The Lord's devotees continue to bestow the blessings of devotion upon all such offenders without hesitation. That is the true nature of devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Text 46. మీరు ఏదో అన్నారు ఇంకో వర్స్ రిసైటేషన్ ఏది 48
ఇదే
చెప్పండి. రిసైట్
పానతే దేవ కథా సుధాయా ప్రవృత్త భక్త్యా విశదాశయాతి వైరాగ్యసారం ప్రతిలభ్య బోధం యథాంజసాన్వీయురకుంఠదిష్ణం Okay, this verse actually glorifies about the Krishna Katha. What happens when you regularly hear Krishna Katha or attentively hear Krishna Katha? Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just sharing whatever verses we are reciting in our group. So I will make a note of it later. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: O Lord, persons who, because of their serious attitude, attain the stage of enlightened devotional service achieve the complete meaning of renunciation and knowledge. and attain the Vaikuntha Loka and the spiritual sky simply by drinking the nectar of your topics. Purport. The difference between the impulsive mental speculators and pure devotees of the Lord is that the farmer pass through a miserable understanding of the absolute truth at every stage, whereas the devotees enter into the kingdom of all pleasures even from the beginning of their attempt. The devotee has only to hear about devotional activities, which are as simple as anything in ordinary life. And he also acts very simply, whereas the mental speculator has to pass through the jugglery of words, which are particularly facts and partially make a show for the maintenance of an artificial, impersonal status. In spite of his strenuous efforts to attain perfect knowledge, the impulsivist attains merging into the impersonal oneness of the Brahma Jyoti of the Lord, which is also attained by the enemies of the Lord simply because of their being killed by him. The devotees, however, attain to the highest stage of knowledge and renunciation and achieve the Vaikuntha Lokas, the planets in the spiritual sky. The impulsivist attains only the sky and does not achieve any tangible transcendental bliss, whereas the devotee attains the planets where real spiritual life prevails. With a serious attitude, the devotee throws away all achievements like so much dust, and he accepts only devotional service, the transcendental culmination. Mental speculators, impulsivist, incomplete understanding, and devotees are complete understanding in full devotion, full service. They attain perfect knowledge. Then we all know that impersonal. So sat potency is there, not bliss potency or chit potency is not there in the impulse list. In the devotees realization, all three there: Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat always eternal, Chit knowledgeable, and Ananda bliss. That's where they enjoy spiritual enjoyment, real enjoyment with Lord's service. Yes. So important verse, yes. Serious attitude. ఇక్కడ ఏముంది serious attitude? What is it? Vishada Ashaya, with greatly serious attitude. Vishada Ashaya, the serious devotees. Serious. Three things I am remembering my Guru Maharaj instructions. Always remember that. If a person wanted to progress in spiritual life, three things one has to cultivate or develop. Sincerity, sincere, serious, without any motivation. If we have any motivation, no. Krishna conscious. Oh, yes, motivation is there, but motivation to serve. That is there. And seriousness and sincerity. By regularly attending, by regularly reading, hearing, chanting, regular seva. Yes, thank you very much. So, who joined now? Just let me see. Rashmi Mataji. Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji. Rashmi Mataji and Vani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavata.
Both of you not read. Please start reading here.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation and purport given by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Other who are pacified by means of transcendental self-realization and have conquered over the modes of nature by dint of strong power and knowledge also enter into you. But for them there is much pain, whereas the devotees simply discharge devotional services and thus feel no such pain. Purport. In terms of a labor of love and it returns, the bhaktas or devotees of the Lord always have priority over person who are addicted to the association of gyanis or impersonalists or yogis or mystics. The word appear others is very significant in the connection. Others refers to the gyanis and the yogis who only hope whose only hope is to merge into the existence of impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Although their destination is not so important in comparison to the destination of the devotees, the labor of non-devotees is far greater than of the bhaktas. one may suggest that there is sufficient labor for the devotees also in the matter of discharging devotional service, but the labor of compensated by the enhancement of transcendental pleasure. The devotees derive more transcendental pleasure while engaged continuously in the service of Lord than when they have no such engagement. In the family combination of a man and a woman, there is much labor and responsibility for both of them. Yet when they are single, they feel more trouble for want their united activities. The union of impersonalist and the union of the devotees are not on a par. The impersonalists try to fully stop their individuality by attaining sayujya mukti or unification by merging into oneness, whereas the devotee keep their individuality to exchange feeling in a relationship with the supreme individual Lord. Such reciprocation of feeling takes place in the transcendental Vaikuntha planet. And therefore the liberation sought by the impersonalist is already achieved in devotional services. The devotee attain mukti automatically while continuing the transcendental pleasure of maintaining individuality. As explained in the previous verses, the destination of the devotees is Vaikuntha or Akuntha Dhinsya. Dhisnya, the place where anxieties are completely eradicated. One should not mistake the destination of the devotee and that of the impersonalist to be one and the same. The destinations are distinctly different, and the transcendental pleasure derived by the devotees is also distinct from chin mantra or spiritual feeling alone. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. One word. The destinations are distinctly different. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan, iti shabdyate. Three kinds of relations. Okay, thank you very much. So, one more devotee. Vanimata, you are ready now? Hare Krishna Mataji. It's okay. Ask you to unmute. Okay. So, where are we now? In the section 51 verses there. I think we can complete this chapter today. Yes, we'll continue reading. Again, Mataji, please pick it up. Samitha Mataji, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. O original person, we were therefore but yours only. Although we are your creatures. We are born one after another under the influence of the three modes of nature. And for this reason, we are separated in action. Therefore, after the creation, we could not concertedly for your transcendental pleasure. Purport. The cosmic creation is working under the influence of the three modes of external potency of the Lord. Different creatures are also under the same influence, and therefore they cannot act concertedly in satisfying the Lord. Because of this diverse activity, there cannot be any harmony in the material world. The best policy, therefore, is to act for the sake of the Lord. That will bring about the desired harmony.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So when we talk about material creation, not only this material world, different planetary systems comes under the influence of three modes of material nature. Sattva, Rajo, Tamo. Means text 49. Sandhya Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O unborn one, please enlighten us regarding the ways and means by which we can offer you all enjoyable grains and commodities, so that both we and all other living beings in this world can maintain ourselves without disturbance and can easily accumulate the necessities of life both for you and ourselves. Purport.
Yeah, thank you. We'll give it to the paragraph with them. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, please read this paragraph.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport. Developed consciousness begins from the human form of life and further increases in the forms of demigods living in higher planets. The Earth is situated almost in the middle of the universe, and the human form of life is the intermediate stage between the life of the demigods and that of the demons. The planetary systems above the Earth are especially meant for the higher intellectuals, called demigods. They are called demigods because although their standard of life is far more advanced in culture, enjoyment, luxury, beauty, education, and duration of life, they are always fully God conscious. Such demigods are always ready to render service to the Supreme Lord because they are perfectly aware of the fact that every living entity is constitutionally an eternal subordinate servitor of the Lord. They also know that it is the Lord only who can maintain all living entities with all the necessities of life. The Vedic hymns Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadate Kaman Tayenam Abruvan Ayatanamna Prajanti Yasmin Pratistita Annam Adame, etc. confirms this truth. In Bhagavad Gita also, the Lord is mentioned as Bhuta Brut, or the maintainer of all living creatures.
Jai.
Shall I
Thank
continue,
you.
Prabhu? Yeah.
We'll ask the other devotees.
Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhu.
Thank you. Let me see. Again, I'm calling. Vanimal, are you there? Okay. No. Chandramal Prabhu. Raju Prabhu is hearing mode. Okay. Chandramal Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. The modern theory that starvation is due to an increase in population is not accepted by the demigods or the devotees of the Lord. The devotees or demigods are fully aware that the Lord can maintain any number of living entities provided they are conscious of how to eat. If they want to eat like the ordinary animals who have no God consciousness, then they must live in starvation, poverty, and want like the jungle animals in the forest. The jungle animals are also maintained by the Lord with their respective foodstuffs, but they are not advanced in God consciousness. Similarly, human beings are provided with food grains, vegetables, fruits, and milk by the grace of the Lord, but it is the duty of human beings to acknowledge the mercy of the Lord. As a matter of gratitude, they should feed obliged to the Lord for their supply of the foodstuff, and they must first offer him food in sacrifice and then partake of the remnants.
Thank you, Prabhu.
In Bhagavad Gita 3.13, it is confirmed that one who takes foodstuff after a performance of sacrifice eats real food for the proper maintenance of the body and soul. But one who cooks for himself and does not perform any sacrifice eats only lumps of sin in the shape of foodstuff. Such sinful eating can never make one happy or free from scarcity. Famine is not due to an increase in population, as less intelligent economists think. When human society is grateful to the Lord for all his gifts for the maintenance of the living entities, then there is certainly no scarcity or want in society. But when men are unaware of the intrinsic value of such gifts from the Lord, surely they are in want. A person who has no God consciousness may live in opulence for the time being due to his past virtuous acts. But if one forgets his relationship with the Lord, certainly he must wait the stage of starvation by the law of powerful material nature. One cannot escape the vigilance of the powerful material nature unless he leads a God conscious or devotional life. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. One cannot escape the vigilance of the powerful material nature unless he leads a God conscious or devotional life. So human form of life is in serious business. I think this is a bit the last verse. Last verse. Let me see. 51 is there. We'll continue maybe Monday. It's okay. Time is up. We'll continue 51 on Monday. Okay. Thank you so much, devotees, for reading today. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This one now, Bhagavad Gita 3.13, what is that? Bhagavad Gita 3.13, Yajna Sistina Shanta, Muchyante Sarva Kilpishahi, Bhunjate Deva Agam Papa, Ye Pachyante Atma Karanam. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only. It's a very important verse. That's why devotees, why we have to offer to Krishna and eat? Because everything is given by Krishna, no? All the material resources, the nature, the ingredients, foodstuffs, acknowledging. So see, this is what Srila Prabhupada connected verse. Very good. So that's previously I wanted to share in the beginning. Let me share that one verse. Okay. So in daily we have to recite and read Bhagavad Gita. Scriptures. So this is the word, this is the verse I wanted to share earlier. Malinemochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine Sakrut Gitamrita snanam samsara maranashanam. Read anybody? Please translate. Read that. This is Gita Mahatmya written by Sripad Shankaracharya. Okay. Gita Mahatmya. Read it. Anybody?
Can I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
One may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water, but if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanished.
Vanquished.
Vanquished.
Yeah. So first verse, no? Today's first verse, no? That one, right, Prabhu? We recited.
Markandeya. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. One more time. Let us read this
41.
translation. Yeah. Recite the translation. You read, Prabhu, translation.
Yes. The lotus feet of the Lord are by themselves the shelter of all places of pilgrimage. The great clear-minded sages, carried by the wings of the Vedas, always search after the nest of your lotus-like face. Some of them surrender to your lotus feet at every step by taking shelter of the best of the rivers, the Ganges, which can deliver one from all the sinful reactions.
Shankaracharya also said that, no, regularly connect with, spiritual topics. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. And great sages are an exemplary. Here, Vidura Maitreya Muni's discussions. Thank you very much, devotees, for doing this activity regularly. So now, do you have a question, Prabhu? Chandramal Prabhu. Is still there? Yeah. Chandramal Prabhu, a question added in the beginning. So let us quickly, let me add one point and then Bharitman Prabhu also will share something. So basically, Prabhu, if somebody is not interested in our family only, first of all, we have to practice nicely for ourselves, personally. Okay? Sincerely, nicely. And we have to pray for them also, not force. And by exemplary, doing, regularly chanting, regularly hearing. See, in the family, they will watch us every time. By looking at one day, Krishna showed mercy to them also. Oh, so sincere, so regular, so disciplined. That's way other family members also attracts. Time will take, Prabhu, not force. Krishna consciousness is not by force. Krishna consciousness is by voluntary service, free will, using their free will. Okay? You add, Prabhu. Lalit Mohan Prabhu.
No, Prabhu, that's it, Prabhu. Nothing to add again.
You got the clarification, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah.
But actually, they are in devotion only, but they are into different vertical.
Yeah, అట్లనే ఉంటారు. Yes. Different modes of worship ఉంటారు.
Yeah,
But
correct.
we have to respect them. I mean, not like, So we also coming into the platform after worshipping different demigods only, na? Right? it will take time. Knowledge only acts upon them. No, the pure knowledge. Parampara, in the paramparic way, in the disciplic succession. That's why we don't want to touch any other Bhagavad Gita except in the form of parampara, disciplic succession. We will read so that we'll become devotees. All other Bhagavad Gita, impulse list, wide is different concepts they may come. No, human intelligence is so nice, but it is not a super intelligence, the ultimate intelligence, right? AI is there, human only man, but AI is also not perfect too. Yes, and yes, we have to surrender to Krishna's instructions, and we have to understand through in a proper disciplic succession. Then our knowledge will be perfect. Yes. So we'll do this recitation, this to one sloka today, for 39th verse. Over to you, Prabhuji. Prabhu, Lalitma Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, yes. Okay. Yeah, Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya Visheshaya Sthaviyase means this is universal form of the Lord. So these two lines, Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya, you are into your body, there are all other bodies. Okay, that's what this line says. Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya Visheshaya Sthaviyase, and how they are very diverse. Okay, and that is a material world actually. So all this material world together encompasses what? It will be like your Vishwarupa. Okay, and your Vishwarupa is very diverse. First line he says about Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya. In your Deha, there are all other Atmas. All other bodies are in your body. And what is that body? Gigantic universal form. And how is that body? It is very diverse. Okay, and it encompasses all the material things. Namas Trilokya Palaya. You are the maintainer of all the three worlds. Namaha means my obeisances unto you. Saha Oja Balayacha. Oja means the prowess or the ability to perform. Okay. Balayacha means the strength. You are the uniting strength in all these activities. Cha means also. Okay. You are the uniting strength, and Oja. Oja means the prowess, the ability to perform things. Cha means both. Okay. So Rudra is actually praying to Lord Vishnu that your gigantic universal form consists of all the bodies of this material world and they are very diverse. That is the first two lines. The next two lines is, I am offering my obeisances unto you, Trilokya, who is the maintainer of all the three worlds and the prowess and also the power. This is what this shloka means. It goes like this. Sarvasatvatma Visheshaya Sthaviyashe Namastrailokya Palaya Sah Oja Balaya Cha. Okay. So we'll go line by line 3 times. No, before that, any 2 devotees can read the synonyms and 2 devotees the translation. Okay. 2 devotees can go with the synonyms. Please read the synonyms.
Sarva, all. Sattva, existence. Atma, soul. Dehaya, unto the body. Visheshaya, diversity. Stavi yase, unto the material world. Namaha, offering obeisances. Tralokya, three planetary systems. Palaya, maintainer. Saha, along with. Oja, prowess. Balaya, unto the strength. Cha, also.
Translation. My dear Lord, you are the gigantic universal form which contains all the individual bodies of the living entities. You are the maintainer of the three worlds, and as such, you maintain the mind, senses, and body and air of life within them. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
One more time we'll do. Synonyms.
time.
Yeah. Translation, Sandhya Mata, please ready, okay? Synonyms: Sarva, all. Sattva, existence. Atma, soul. Dehaya, unto the body. Visheshaya, diversity. Stha Vishaye, unto the material. Namaha, offering obeisances. Trilokya, three planetary systems. Palaya, maintainer. Saha, along with. Oja, prowess. Balaya, unto the strength. Cha, also. Madhuri, please read.
Translation. My dear Lord, you are the enigmatic universal form which contains all the individual bodies of the living entities. You are the maintainer of the three worlds, and such as you maintain the mind, senses, body, and air of life within them. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Yeah. Now please repeat after me. Okay. Every line 3 times, 2 lines together 3 times, and the whole shloka 3 times. Then you can go for individual practice. Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya.
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 Visheshaya Sthaviyase.
Visheshaya Sthavise.
Visheshaya Sthaviyase.
Visheshaya Sthaviyase.
Visheshaya Sthaviyase.
Visheshaya Sthaviyase.
Namastrailokya Palaya.
Namastrailokya Palaya.
Namastrailokya Palaya.
Namastrailokya Palaya.
Namastrailokya Palaya.
Namastrailokya Palaya.
Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Saha Ojo Balaya.
Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Saha Ojo Balaya.
Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Saha Ojo Balaya.
2 lines together. Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya Visheshaya Sthaviyase.
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 Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya.
Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya.
Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya.
Now the whole shloka 3 times. Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya Visheshaya Sthaviyase. Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya Visheshaya Sthaviyase. Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya.
Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya Visheshaya Sthaviyase. Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya Visheshaya Sthaviyase. Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya.
Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya Visheshaya Sthaviyase. Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Sarva Sattva Dehaya Visheshaya Sthaviyase. Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya.
Yeah, thank you so much. Now you can go with your individual practice.
Prabhuji, I'll do first, Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Sarva Sattvatma Dehaya Visheshaya Staviyashe Namastrailokya Palaya Saha Ojo Balaya Cha.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Lamnita Mataji.
सर्वसत्त्वात्मदेहाय विशेषाय स्थवीयसे नमस्त्रैलोक्यपालाय सह ओजो बलाय च. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. सर्वसत्त्वात्मदेहाय विशेषाय स्तवीयसे नमस्त्रैलोक्यपालाय सह ओजो बलाय च.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Madhvi Mataji.
सर्वसत्त्वात्मदेहाय विशेषाय स्तवीयसे नमस्त्रैलोक्यपालाय सह ओजोबलाय च. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Rashmi Mataji.
सर्वसत्त्वात्मदेहाय विशेषाय स्थवीयसे नमस्त्रैलोक्यपालाय सह ओजो बलाय च. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Chandramani Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. सर्वसत्त्वात्मदेहाय विशेषाय स्तवीयसे नमस्त्रैलोक्यपालाय सहवोजो बलाय च.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Giriraj Prabhu.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Bhasya Bhagavatam 4.24-13. सर्वसत्त्वात्मदेहाय विशेषाय स्थवीयसे नमस्त्रैलोक्यपालाय सह ओजो बलाय च.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Now you can conclude the call, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. I name it. Thank you, devotees, for doing today recitations and readings. Actually, one of our regular reader, Akinchan Prabhu, and other devotees got second initiation in GEV yesterday. Let us pray for them. All the devotees by 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Can we do? Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram.
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
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 Hare.
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Ram, Hare Ram,
Yeah.
Ram Ram.
Karuna Radhika Mataji and Karuna Radhika Mataji, Yamuna Mataji, and Leela Prabhu's mother, Ransi Radha Leela Mataji, our Akinchan Prabhu, Shobha Kumar Mataji, Murlidhar Govind Prabhu. So all the devotees, they got second initiation yesterday with special blessings of Guru Maharaj. So you all have to look for that. Nicely practicing, sincerely serving. One day you also get that day. Okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We'll connect on Monday. We will connect on Monday. Hare Krishna.